This is the 411. Your host, Matt Mika.
What a way to kick off the 2014 postseason with the A's and Royals battling it out. The Royals eventually winning that game. Matt and Mika here on the 411 to talk about it. And then we'll preview the matchup between the Pirates and the Giants later on. But let's kick off with that Royals-A's game last night. What a victory. What a statement by the Royals. That never die attitude, never give up. The crowd was rocking from the first inning to the sixth inning, and they kind of slept a little bit, and then they got awoken again in the eighth inning, and the place was going nuts. What a game the Royals put on. It started off with a bang in the first inning. Brandon Moss hitting his first home run since July 31st for the A's, tacking on two, and the Royals came surging back in the bottom half of the inning. Billy Butler hitting an RBI single, but then there was a little base running blunder in the bottom half. Guys on first and third, runners on the corners, and they tried a little trickeration where Billy Butler tried to steal second base, get caught in a rundown to bring in the guy on third home, but John Lester read it like a book. All he had to do was step off the rubber, throw it to shortstop, and Hosmer was dead meat at the plate. But hindsight, Soto, the starting catcher, was injured on that tag out. He was injured on the play with a thumb injury. He was taken out. Derek Norris was put in, and maybe that kind of shook up things for the A's. Granted, Norris caught most of Lester's games this year, but looking back at it, postseason, you're not expecting to start and you're thrown into the game right away, not warming up or anything. So maybe it kind of shook things up a little bit, but let's move towards the sixth inning. The Royals are up 3-2, and the A's came surging in that inning, having a big inning, scoring lots of runs in bunches, and Shields gets taken out of the game, and they put in Ventura, a young kid, a starting pitcher. And you're wondering yourself as a baseball fan, what are you doing? And he was wild as a young kid in the postseason with guys on base in a high-pressure situation. Your energy level is going to be cranked up to the max. You could tell it as soon as he stepped on the rubber. He was throwing all over the place, and when he was hitting the strike zone, it was right down the middle, and he threw a dead red fastball to Brandon Moss, and Brandon Moss made him pay, hitting an absolute moonshot to dead center, and that sucked the life right out of the stadium. You thought to yourself as a fan, this game's over. The A's will move on to the ALDS. They had a 7-3 lead at that point, but the Royals never gave up. Let's go to the eighth inning. Escobar led off the inning, and this, in my opinion, changed everything. This was the play of the game. He gets on with a single up the middle, little chopper to the shortstop. He doesn't get on. The Royals are packing their bags. They're heading home. The A's moving on. He gets on. He steals second. The crowd, they see what's going on. They realize what's happening. It's like waking up a sleeping monster, sleeping giant. They were loud as soon as that happened. He steals second, sacrifice to third. He gets brought in, and that woke up the sleeping giant, and the Royals came surging in that inning, down by one in the ninth inning. In my personal opinion, that's won the entire game, that one play up the middle. And I knew that the Royals were going to either tie the game or win the game in the bottom of the ninth inning. And sure enough, Dyson on second base, he's still third. This fun fact for you, he led the American League in stealing third base this year with 12. That's a great accomplishment. The Royals, using their athleticism, using small ball, they were not going to outslug the A's in this game. They're going to have to rely on their speed and their small ball capabilities to win this game. Sure enough, very next at bat, he gets brought in and tie game into extra innings. The A's tack on a run in the 12th, and you think, it's all over. The storybook ending for the Royals. It was great. It was great, but not great enough. But the Royals, that never die attitude, and they came back scoring two in the bottom 12th, and they're having a date night with the Angels in the ALDS. What a game. What a way to kick off this 2014 postseason. The NL wildcard is tonight. The San Francisco Giants travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates at PNC Park. The place is going to be rocking. 10th man, they're going to be roaring, just like last night in Kansas City. Keys to the game, Madison Bumgarner is the key for the Giants. He's a fighter. He's a bulldog. He's got that fight mentality. If I'm a teammate of his, I am glad that he's on the bump starting in this one-game playoff, because he's never gonna back down, and he's got great stuff. Mechanically, he's very tall, he's very lanky, he's got long arms, and he's very deceiving with his pitches. He cocks his arm back all the way behind his head and wraps his arm all the way around his body. And as a hitter, it's hard to pick up. So look for Bumgarner to throw his off speed in the dirt around the zone and get the hitters to chase. He's never going to back down. A couple nights ago, he was about to get in a fight with Puig from the Dodgers, and he wasn't going to react to Puig. He wanted some of Puig. He's a fighter. He wanted a piece of him as a teammate of his. You want that if you want to make a championship run. So it's for the Giants, great news for Bumgarner to take the bump tonight in this one-game playoff. On the flip side, for the Pirates, it's all about Andrew McCutchen. He's the MVP of this team. When he wasn't in the lineup, when he was injured, they struggled. They struggled to score runs. They struggled to get on base. They struggled offensively, and they couldn't get into a rhythm. When he was plugged back into the lineup, they came soaring back and took the wild card. So it's all about Andrew McCutchen. Granted, though, the San Francisco pitching staff, they're not going to pitch to McCutchen. They're not going to give him that many opportunities to swing the bat. So what the other 8 hitters can do is the key for the Pirates. They have to get on, they have to produce, and when runners get in scoring position, they have to catch them in and get this crowd roaring and knock out Bumgarner. That's the keys to the game, and in my personal opinion, I think the Pittsburgh Pirates will advance. They will cash in some runs, they will knock out Bumgarner, and they will take a run at the NLDS. So that wraps up this edition of the 411. I'm Matt Mika. We'll see you tomorrow.